I'm Brad with Nomad Cycles here in Portland. My background is I came from a small shop called EcoSpeed where we made the first real good mid-drives, actually. We had to print our own circuit boards and do local machining. We had Phil Wood and White Industries helping us make parts, and also this company in Vancouver, Canada called Grin Technologies. That was like 20 years ago. Now we're more of a retail shop and we do conversions with CYC and Grin. We also are a shop that does a lot of adaptive needs things. We have riders with Parkinson's. We have a blind rider that rides on the back of a tandem. We will fix it all. We'll support everybody. And we also make better e-bikes than they could buy at any other shop too. We really love to work with individuals to make the option for them that's going to be their best bike. My longtime dream is coming true. We're making our own bikes now. We're making ours modular. You could pull one motor out and put another motor in. 2 models that are going to be in our first launch. So we got several others in the works, but this one has the pedals further forward so that when you're coming to a stop, you can put both feet on the ground. And a lot of people with maybe hip and knee issues and also the ergonomics of sitting straight up and down with no weight on your wrists really makes a difference. So we're bringing those pedals forward, putting the swoopy lines in here, the good modern bike technology like the through axles and flat mount disc brakes. Makes it a machine that you can do life with. Here's our other more nimble commuter. This one, it's got some passive suspension by running the seat stays all the way up here, so they got a little bit of swoop action. But we're also making it modular, so you can use any motor. We can use the all-axle hub motor. We can use different mid-drives. And we're not building our frames around a built-into-the-frame motor because as a shop, we've seen plenty of scenarios where a company made something that's no longer fixable or supported, and now that bike is a landfill item. But by doing modular components, it's future-friendly. It's going to be able to be fixed for the lifetime. And I think that's important, especially around batteries. You know, like you get a bike with the Bosch battery or the Shimano battery. When it's time to replace that battery, you have to get theirs because of the communication cable. And I think that's, first of all, at some point that isn't going to be available. And second of all, there's small capacity and high price. So by making these modular, you can use anybody's battery as long as it's the right voltage. But we choose to use the CYC batteries because they have that full metal case. It's the best battery that we've ever worked with.
Yeah, so we'll kind of start with a fork because this is kind of like part of the concept. And this is going to be one of the production forks that we're going to do. This is a really nice like biplane crown. It's a Pacenti crown. This is like kind of a combination of like an old style fork and a new style fork. You can see it's raked. It's 12 mil through axle, and it's like flat mount disc. What having a fork like this on a steel frame does is like allows for some amount of give with the fork, and then we combine it with what we're working on with the double down tube bike. This bike is gonna get a top tube that's gonna have a curve in it. And then we're gonna have seat stays that have some amount of bend and curve this way. You probably saw it out there on the double down commuter. And we have a floating, seat mast here. So what ends up happening, physics-wise, is the bike has give to it. And what that ends up doing is like creating like passive suspension. So if you have bigger tires, then you can have a really nice, like, comfortable, smooth ride. And it's not all tires. It has to do with the frame give as well.
Smart with electric, right?
It's very smart.
Speeds,
yeah, higher speeds means more bumps, means more impact, means hurts. One of the things that like wears out a lot in electric bikes is with suspension, is they put crummy suspension forks on, and then you have to replace them or get them serviced if they're serviceable, maybe. So having a bike with a passive suspension built in is like, more longevity. Going off of that concept, something I've been thinking about building for a while was something that's really suspendy and really passive suspension built. This is a chopper that I built up for the One Moto show this year. And as you can see, it's got this Grand All axle on it. This bike is lively and smooth. It rides really, really well. It's kind of interesting because people are used to bikes that just sort of, you know, crank it out in response, you know, and everything's power, power, power. This bike, you have to actually like ride with the bike, and like you can feel it moving with you, and it's pretty fun.
It looks like it's got a rib cage on it.
Yeah, it's got like alien face sucker vibes, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, rah, it's gonna get you.
So this thing's solid. It's like teak wood. It's pretty thick. It weighs like 100-something pounds for just that piece right there.
Yeah.
The bike came from Thailand, and one of our neighbors here in the neighborhood was working over there and brought it. He married a Thai woman and moved her over with all her stuff in a shipping container, and he bought this cab off the streets of Bangkok like the day before they were leaving.
Wow.
And if you look at the back, it says cab number 111. We recognized the shortcomings of this machine for what we wanted. The biggest one was it's a very heavy machine, and it does not go well with the hills around here. So adding the mid-drive helped significantly, but it was geared far too high for a heavy machine. And the other big problem was lack of braking. It had a single band brake on one back wheel, foot activated, mechanical, full mechanical.
Oh wow,
So,
I didn't notice that when I was first looking at it.
yeah, so at this development here, we'll have a disc brake, and we'll have some gears, and it'll be geared down significantly. Yeah, make it a little more practical for moving around here. We're launching this August at the Maid show. I don't know if you guys know what the Maid show is, but it's going to be a bunch of artisan frame makers, bespoke bicycle businesses here in Portland. And we're going to be launching there with our debut. If you want to get in on one of our bikes, that would be the time. We'll be taking pre-orders and getting them out there. And it's made right here in our shop in Portland, Oregon.
If you want to specifically find us at Maid, we'll be right next to Destroy Bike Company and Monet Bikes and Doom Bars. So if you're familiar with any of those brands, shout out to Blake Keaton, shout out to Sean, shout out to Todd.
Nice.
Yeah.
Find us there. We'd be happy to see you.
Cool.
Bloopers.
Bloopers.
Really, we like it.
Wow.